G'day guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Aussie Investing Machine. Thanks for joining me in this episode. We'll be looking at two companies that I think have some massive potential coming up in 2021. Both of these companies are in the healthcare sector, and this sector is one that ASX listed companies do very well in. The first of these companies is Commonwealth Serum Laboratories, otherwise known as CSL. CSL has the biggest market cap on the ASX, and their share price is currently sitting at over $300. But could it go even higher? I personally invested in CSL back when shares were just $236. But at the time, yes, that did seem expensive. So could we see another massive price hike on CSL? A lot of people don't think so. I've got a bit of a different opinion. We'll get to that shortly. The other company I wanted to discuss today is called Polynovo. Polynovo specializes in medical grade polymers, which are used for skin repair and other uses. Recently, Polynovo has had a price jump because they have applied to the FDA for a new clinical trial, and this has been approved. This trial is for an expansion of the use of one of their current products, which is already sold in the US. All in all, with the commencement of this trial and potential approval in 2021 is looking like a great year coming up for Polynovo. I'll get into more detail shortly. We'll start off with CSL. Now, as always, guys, this video is not financial advice. Before making any investment decisions, make sure you do consult a licensed financial advisor. And as always, do your own research before making any investment decisions. Right, so let's get into CSL and the key points that I think will mean a massive price jump in this company going into the end of the year and 2021. The company has a terrific track record with years and years of consistent growth. Their balance sheet is solid and they are really in a prime position. What I'm particularly excited about at the moment is their COVID-19 vaccine involvement. Here's the three key facts about CSL that I'd like to highlight. Number one, the Oxford University AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine is currently being manufactured by CSL. Now, this early manufacturing of vaccines, pending their final approval, is being done in many countries around the world. The US is doing a similar thing with the Pfizer vaccine. We saw President Trump come out earlier in the week and talk about how they'd already started manufacturing, and they were just waiting on that final green light from the FDA. Having millions of units already manufactured obviously allows the government to quickly distribute the vaccine to those people who need it most. What I think is fascinating is that CSL is an Australian company and that Australia has the capabilities to manufacture the vaccine in-house. It means we're not on the long list of countries waiting for imports of the vaccine from other vaccine manufacturing countries. Point number two, CSL has entered into a contract to manufacture 51 million doses of the University of Queensland vaccine. This is different from the Pfizer vaccine that the US is currently producing, and also different from the AstraZeneca vaccine, which CSL is manufacturing at the moment. This particular vaccine is called V451. The research for this vaccine has been undertaken in Australia at the University of Queensland in partnership with CSL. It's currently in a phase 1 trial, but it's proving to be effective and safe throughout that trial so far. So yes, it's a little bit behind the AstraZeneca and Pfizer vaccines. However, it is a local product. Now, I think being a local product, it presents a massive opportunity for CSL. Because we're developing it here in this country, no one else will have access to this vaccine. We're also able to manufacture that vaccine in this country through CSL's manufacturing laboratories. So the third key point is that if you like and comment on this video, it really helps out the channel. A lot of time and effort goes into this video, so I would really appreciate if you could leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel to help me creating this content. So I think the combination of those key facts is a win-win combination for CSL. The potential upside, if the University of Queensland vaccine is approved at the end of the phase 3 trials, is massive. There is a huge global demand for COVID-19 vaccines. We know that through President Trump's recent announcement, the US will be producing around 20 million units per month of the Pfizer vaccine. At that manufacturing rate, it will take the US 16 whole months to produce enough of the vaccine just for its citizens alone. So by using this logic, I think it would make sense that the US would not be able to export any vaccines to other countries for at least the next 12 months. This 12-month time period should be sufficient for the University of Queensland and CSL to get their vaccine approved if it is found to be safe and effective. Now we know that CSL is contracted to produce 51 million units of this vaccine. Australia's population is only around 25 million people, so this is double the amount of units that we actually require. In addition to this, CSL, as we know, is already producing AstraZeneca's vaccine. So it's likely that these 51 million units of the locally produced vaccine will be surplus for Australia. This will then give us massive export potential. If we've got 51 million COVID-19 vaccine units to distribute, there's obviously some huge gain we could make from the international market. So with vaccine units selling for around $20 a vial, this means at least $1 billion of revenue for CSL. It's for this reason that I'm watching the company so closely, and for this reason that I think CSL's share price could surge even higher than the $350 mark. I'm interested to know what your thoughts are. What do you think about that logic? Do you think I'm on the right track? Maybe you've already bought into CSL. Let me know in the comments below. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Polynovo. As we mentioned before, Polynovo is a biomedical tech company which specializes in polymers which can be used to repair skin. This week, Polynovo are celebrating FDA approval of the commencement of a new trial for one of their products. This product is their biodegradable temporizing matrix, also known as the BTM. This product is a tool that helps surgeons treat traumatic wounds. The trial is aiming at getting this product approved to treat injuries such as full thickness burns in the US market. Not only was this trial just approved by the FDA, but Polynovo has also received US federal government funding, which is a significant contribution to their revenue. This is massive because it means they're not relying on capital raising to fund their research and development. This is a massive positive for the company, and it shows that governments are seriously interested in their products and believe that they are effective. The BTM is already commercially sold in most places worldwide, with more and more places coming online each year. The new clinical trial aims to prove that the treatment is effective for a wider range of injuries. If the trial is successful, obviously this will result in more sales for the company, increasing their revenue substantially. Now, what I think is really neat about Polynovo is that they've got a manufacturing facility right here in Melbourne, Australia. This is where their polymers are produced, and I think it's great that, like CSL, we've got another pioneering Australian medical company manufacturing in Australia. Now, in addition to this current manufacturing capacity, Polynovo has also received about $250,000 of Victorian state government funding to build a new manufacturing lab. This facility is called a hernia clean room, and it's to advance another one of their treatments, which is an upcoming development for treating hernias. This facility is in Port Melbourne, and the aim is to develop and manufacture their hernia product there. Looking at their financials, the company is on a clear path to profitability. As noted in their annual report, the company believes they'll hit break-even in 2021. This is certainly consistent with the data in their balance sheet. We can see that slowly, year on year, their net income after tax is improving and getting closer and closer to that break-even point. The company is also not just relying on one product to do all the work. They've got a huge amount of products in the pipeline going through research and development, and as we've discussed, they continue to put more and more products up for approval. In terms of their balance sheet, we can see the EPS improving year on year, getting closer and closer to that break-even mark. I'll put up some of their financial highlights, which they've provided in their annual report. We can see really substantial increases in their revenue and cash flow. Costs are also increasing, as you would expect in a growth company, with more and more employees being onboarded and also more and more capital expenditure. We can see a rise in their long-term debt, which is attributed to their new hernia facility, which they're constructing in Port Melbourne. We mentioned there was federal government funding put towards this. Obviously, Polynovo has to put in some of their own money as well to make this a reality. For me, building a new facility shows tangible expansion and growth in the business, and I think it's a great step forward for the company. Overall, I think their balance sheet is very healthy, and we can see it continue to improve as they reach profitability. One point I really like about their financials is that they're carrying enough cash on hand to fully service their debt. Even if their repayments were due tomorrow, they'd still have a small amount of cash left over to operate the business. I think this shows good management, good financial control, and it gives you confidence that the company is nowhere near going bankrupt or running out of money. I think without any major market disruptions, we could see Polynovo have a really prosperous 2021. Is it time to jump on board yet? I'm keen to hear your thoughts and opinions. Leave me a comment below. I'd love to have a chat with you down there. So what's your take on these two companies? Maybe you've already got one in your portfolio. I'd be keen to hear your opinions and thoughts in the comments section below, so make sure to drop a comment down there. I'd love to hear what you've got to say. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Cheers.